Welcome to another Career Coaches Makeover. In this particular episode, we are actually doing something very different because this conversation completely made a pivot when we were 1/3 of the way in. You're going to see that our conversation with Anna started like a traditional Career Coaches Makeover. But as we dove deeper into her particular business, something really awesome happened. We realized that Anna actually didn't want to build her business and she wanted to do something else. And so I actually gave her some career advice. I actually took my business coaching hat off and I put my career coaching hat on, and you're going to see the transformation she went through, and it's nothing what you expected. Enjoy. Anna, welcome to the Career Coaches Makeover. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. Over here in Portugal, so a different time of night. But yeah, excited to be here.
I'm excited to have this conversation with you. I haven't been to Portugal. I was supposed to go there last year, but my wife got sick, and so we weren't able to continue the vacation. But Anna, tell me a little bit more about you, your background, a little bit about your business, and we can get started.
Okay, so I have been in talent acquisition my whole career, apart from a brief dalliance as an accountant, which was clearly a mistake. But so recruitment has been my learning ground. I've lived all around the world, so I'm originally English. You can probably hear that in the accent. I've lived out in America. I've lived in Australia. I've lived in Singapore, and now I'm here in Portugal. Um, I spent the last 13 years working with Microsoft in talent acquisition. So, a little bit like you, actually, Daniel. I was working with the early career space. So, I was running graduate programs out in Asia Pacific. And then fell in love with a handsome Irishman. And so, we then chose to relocate across to Portugal. And with that, moved to Portugal 5 years ago, just coming up next month. And so again, I was working in talent acquisition, leading talent sourcing for the EMEA region with Microsoft again. And then I was gifted redundancy, which was a very happy day for me. And so I always take things with my glass is always half full. And so with that, then decided to really take a couple of steps back and think, what is it I want to do with my life? I've been given this incredible opportunity. I don't have to go back into corporate. What is it that I love to do? What is it I'm passionate about? And and it's helping people. It's helping people to talk about their careers. It's helping people to navigate those life journeys. So with that, I then set up my career coaching business. And so I've been doing that out of Portugal with clients very much across the world, so very international. And here I am today. So, in a
Amazing.
nutshell.
Your background, I was looking at your LinkedIn. It is extremely impressive, and that's amazing.
Thank
And
you.
so when I look at your background, you've been doing this career coaching. Is it full time or like 40 hours a week, or are you, how many hours a week are you working on your business?
I'm probably putting in maybe like 35 hours a week.
Okay.
I'm not sure that those are hours focused in exactly the right direction,
Okay.
but I come and sit at my desk and think about the business. So it's for me, I think of it as a full time job, but I have flexibility now, so I
Yeah.
can do other things in and around that.
Tell me about your business. What is like, what are the services that you provide? How are you working with clients? How many clients have you worked with?
So I've been on a journey with this. And so initially, I think I thought I could be everything to every person. But what I've really nailed it down to is what has been my life journey. So I have lived in many different locations. So my focus client, my avatar, if you like, are individuals who have lived all around the world, who, for whatever reason, today are now thinking about how do they navigate their life to either return back to Europe because they want to be back for family, or they are coming to a situation where they might have been made redundant, so therefore they're seeking more of an outplacement service, um, or they're just looking for something else. So they might have been running their own business and then thinking, that it, I need help to get it to the next level, or I'm focusing my energies into the wrong direction. How do I grow? How do I sustain that business? But I think the key line between a lot of these folks are they've lived overseas, they're looking to move. There's a lot of people who are passionate about sailing as well. So a lot of us are travelers. Um, and a lot of it has come through word of mouth. So people that I might have known for a long time who've then said, "Hey, you're doing this now full time. Can we talk?" And I think that's where I am in the business. I now need to, how do I extend this beyond my social sphere of influence?
Yeah. What is the offer that you're providing right now? Do you have different packages or one main package, or how do you work with clients? If I am a client, I come into your world.
So today I've got 3 packages. Everything's branded with a nautical theme. So the packages are the Explorer, Navigator, and Voyager, and it's based on time. So first one being 6 months, 6 sessions. Then it's 6 sessions, 9 sessions, and 12 sessions.
Okay. And what are the pricing?
The first one is 505. The second one is 960, and the next one is I think it's 102, 1025, and that's all in euros.
Okay. What? Why package it that way?
I think because my background, I was working in outplacement previously when I was living out in Australia, and so that was always served in chunk sizes. So it was a 4-hour session, or it was an 8-hour session, or it was a 12-hour session. So that's just been my background, and that's what I've always done.
Okay. How many clients are you working with on a month on average? Not your best month, but not your worst month average.
So on average, there's probably between about 4 or 5 clients a month
Okay.
that I'm working with. And as you know, the cycle tends to move along. So that might grow, that might decrease,
Mhm.
but around there.
And what is the breakdown between packages? Do you have like an 80-20 split, or is it pretty even between all three
In
packages?
terms of what people tend to go for,
Hmm?
is the middle one.
So 80% of the people choose the 900 euro ones.
Yep, correct. Or what I've also done is uh, rather than offering a discount, I've also then offered the full 12 sessions, but at the same price as
Yeah.
the middle one as an
Hmm.
incentive.
How many leads or how many sales calls or discovery calls are you having a month?
Less than 10. And this is my issue. I went through the theory of constraints,
Hmm.
and today I don't have a predictable way of getting leads.
Okay. Because if you're getting less than 10, but you're averaging 4 to 5, your problem is not sales. Like your closing rate is pretty good.
Yeah, so I've actually worked out the percentage of that, and it's less than 2 to 1.
2 to 1
As
meaning
in,
like 50% closing rate. Like
yeah, I think it comes at about 63%. But what I'm not getting is, I think you talked about it on your video. I'm that person who's sitting here waiting for my inbox to ping.
yeah,
I'm not generating outbound leads.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Um. So aside from word of mouth, and then you're posting on LinkedIn, I would say once a week, right?
Yeah,
What other forms of marketing are you currently doing?
um, really LinkedIn.
Okay.
So in terms of like search engine optimization, somebody can come in and put in career coach, and that would then put me up to the top of the list.
Yeah.
Um, I've been trying to work with Google, but I've been just having challenges with that because I'm a virtual business and Google doesn't make that easy to set up. Um, and then networking. So I attend a lot of industry events. I've done public speaking as well. I've been running webinars. Again, not on a consistent basis, but I've done a couple of webinars already this year. Um, And then, similarly last year as well. So I've been fortunate enough to be asked to speak at things like the Lisbon Career Tech event,
Yeah.
for example.
I mean, yeah, you definitely have a great background. So that means that you're doing around 3 to 5,000 euros a month, correct?
Yeah, probably erring towards the three. So I've been topping it up with other things like delivering training. Um, but so yeah, on the coaching, I'd really like to build that up.
Tell me where you want the business to be tomorrow. So I have a clear understanding where the business is today, but it's the end of the year, December 31st is midnight,
Ooh.
right? You're with your significant other. I think you said husband. You got married with an Irish. He has a Guinness in his hand. He's cheering you and say, "What a year!" And you're like, "I'm so grateful for you, but I'm also grateful that my business was able to do the following."
Um, I think, I mean, I'd be happy if it was 5 grand a month. Um,
Was not happy. Like, wait, like best case scenario. Like this is
oh,
Disney.
best case
Like
scenario.
if I'm doing this, I'm like here's what I want you to describe. Like I'm still working 30 to 35 hours. I'm getting, you know, 5 to 6 clients. They're paying me $3 to 5,000. I'm making 10 to 15,000 euros a month. Um, I'm enjoying what I do. Like I don't want to put words in your mouth. I want you to tell me
Okay.
stuff. But
Well, it would literally blow me away if I could make that 10K per month. That would just be incredible.
yeah,
Um, and I can't even imagine that. That would be so huge.
okay.
And yes, flexible lifestyle. So if that was 35 hours a week, that's how I would like to keep it. That would be amazing.
Okay.
And I guess the other thing as well is really focusing on the coaching. That's the part that I love, and what I've discovered running my own business is that so much of my time is being spent at the accountant, or working on my branding, or thinking about content creation, or there's so many other skills, and whilst I can do them, they're not the things that give me joy and energy. So I'd like to have a structure that's in place where that is happening consistently in the background. Now, whether that's I'm generating enough income so I can outsource that, that would be absolutely ideal. Or if there's like a smart hack that part of my time is like 10% of my time, so that the rest of my time can be doing what I love, which is one on one with clients.
So if you had to outsource the parts of your business that you didn't like, it would be the marketing, sales, all of that aspect of it, right?
At the moment, yeah.
Why not be a coach for someone else? Why not be number two to a coach with a bigger brand and just do coaching?
Yeah, that would be amazing. How do I
Okay.
do that? Is this tap into your network of people who are looking to expand their business and purely coach?
Yeah, I pretty much like this might be a very short conversation because I say that because like people don't realize and obviously Anna, we're recording this for YouTube, so if you're watching this on YouTube, it's like the solution is not always build a business. Building a business is hard, and
Yeah,
and and the amount of coaching that you'll actually get to do once your business is scaling might only be 10 hours a week. So like I work around 50 hours a week, 55.
hmm
Like I don't know, I don't count. I love work. I'm a workaholic, but I love all areas of business. I love marketing, I love sales, I love coaching, I love all of it. Like I'm just obsessed with business. But the amount of hours that I actually get to coach might be 5 hours a week.
right.
And it's
So
and
that wouldn't be enough for me.
right, correct. And I have like we have a lot of clients. We're pretty good at what we do, Anna, and so that leads to people figuring out marketing and sales rather quickly. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of clients that need coaches with experience, and they pay anywhere between $100 to $150 an hour if you're just doing contract work to do
hmm
one-on-one. So just imagine if you didn't even have to do any marketing. All you did was have either one coach that gives you like that you just run client success for them, and all you do is coach, and you're on a salary and you're making $100,000 a year. But like,
Uh, Right now, that sounds
Sign me
fantastic.
up, right? Like,
Yeah.
I will connect you. By the way, so we actually, by the way, if you're watching, like, if for anybody that's watching this and you're like, Daniel, I'm like Anna, like, I just much rather coach than anything else. Like, if you reach out to me on LinkedIn, I will send you a form, like a Google Sheet form, like an application. And what we do is when somebody submits that application, we share it to our coaches, and then our coaches like look at the profile, and they're always looking for part-time coaches, because the way that we teach our clients how to scale their business is to start with hiring part-time coaches at anywhere between $50 to $150 an hour, just based on their experience. I think, Anna, based on your experience, I think you can charge $100 an hour,
Hmm.
um, which is what you're roughly charging already, but you're doing a lot of marketing to get that.
Exactly. I just feel like my energy is going in the wrong direction. It's
It
not
is.
giving me the, as Mary Kondo would say, it's not giving me the spark joy.
Yeah. And 90% of the time when you're starting a business, that's what's going to happen. Like, because
Hmm.
like nothing happens without something being sold. And so, um, yeah, like there's pros and cons to both of them. Like, long term, if you're trying to build a business that generates $200,000-300,000 a year, like, you working underneath another coach, it'd be very difficult, right? Because like the coach took all the risks, so they're going to take the majority of the reward, and
Hmm.
respectfully, like, it makes sense. Um, but if you wanted to make six figures, you can do that as a part-time coach. Like, and I say part-time coach meaning you could find two or three other coaches. You have a calendar availability based on your Calendly,
Hmm.
and then each coach can just send, like the way that it would work. Like, they all have a client. Our clients, the way it works with our clients is like, we'll teach them how to get a client success manager. They're like, think about a doctor's office. They're the admin. You're a
Yeah.
doctor, and they're the ones who say, okay, this person might need some mock interview help from Anna, and they'll schedule it on your calendar based on your availability that you gave them. And so, like, you just know, okay, tomorrow I have 3 calls, and then those are all you're doing is coaching. Then you send the
Hmm.
notes. You add the notes to the CRM, so like
Yeah.
that, so that the next coach knows exactly what you guys worked on, right? Kind of like if you're a doctor, you see a patient, you have to write the charts. It's the same exact same thing.
Hmm. And so I'm doing some work with the business schools, and that's exactly how I work with them as well. So yeah, no, I understand the model,
Yeah,
and it makes a lot of sense. Um, I'd love to give that a try.
yeah, and I think, like, for someone who's just passionate about coaching, it's not looking to build like this like $1 million empire, and it's like more of a lifestyle. I just want to be able to monetize my amazing experience like you do, right? And be able to get paid fairly, and still be able to impact a lot of people's lives, and not have to
Hmm.
worry about the marketing, or like, once I'm done with the call, like, you're not worried about it. Like, obviously you have to be providing a great service.
Yeah.
Clients will obviously, and I have no doubt that you will do that. But yeah, I think that, to me, uh, the simple answer could just be that. Like, don't worry about building a business. It's just a lot of work.
It does feel a bit like one of those aha moments. It's like, oh, duh, God, why didn't I even think about that?
Yeah,
So they're always thinking I've got to do this all on my own. And I mean, there's so many great resources out there.
yeah,
So I've been learning heaps, but I know that it's been distracting me from what it is that I love to do,
yeah,
and that's what I tell people to do. Do what you enjoy, what you love. Come as you are, do what do what you love. But I don't feel I've been quite fulfilling that prophecy myself.
yeah. I Yeah, it's funny. Like, sometimes it just takes a third party perspective. I had a call like this with another individual about 2 weeks ago, and she used to have a staffing agency. She sold it, then went to work as like a chief engineering officer, because she had this engineering background. Her staffing agency
Hmm.
was helping, with engineering, placing engineering roles, and she wanted to essentially kind of work with Opni. This was more of like a sales call, right? And she was like, "Yeah, like, I want to build a business that I can make $200,000 to $300,000 a year, and I just want to work 20 hours a week from my lake house. And I thought career coaching would be great." And then I said to her, I said, "Let me just tell you, like, because she had a lot of experience. She's a C-level executive at an engineering company." And I said, even if you're charging $5,000 per client to get a job, which it's a good price. It's not cheap, but it's also not as expensive. I've seen people charge $10,000 to get
Hmm.
a high level job. You would need to work with 4 clients a month to make $20,000 a month to then make 240, which is like the minimum that you want to make. I said, how much easier would it be if you just place one engineer a month? Because at a 20% commission, which is what a staffing agency would get paid when they place a full-time engineer that makes over $100,000, you're going to make anywhere between low end $20,000 for your fee, high end $40,000, $50,000. Wouldn't it just be easier to place one engineer making 200K every other month?
Hmm.
She goes like, yeah, it would be. And I'm like, so why wouldn't you just do that? And she's like, it just never thought about it. I'm like, you used to have a staffing agency. I'm sure you have connections. I'm sure you have old agreements that you don't have to go get a new agreement. Like, you know exactly how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know how to source them. And she's like, you can even hire. And she's like, I can even go get my old sourcer to source them. She just reached out to me a week ago. And I'm like, so it's like sometimes it takes a third party perspective. But we ended up the call and she's like, wow, like I was ready to join your program. I had watched all your videos. Can I just, she asked me for my address so she could send me a gift because she felt guilty that she couldn't join my program. I'm like, but I don't want you in my program. You're going to like realize how much work it is later on. And this is like the easiest path. And this reminds me so much of this conversation. It's like path of less resistance. Go be a coach for somebody else.
Okay, so I'm going to find that form. You're going to put that out.
We can stop recording after, like I will wrap this up, like we'll wrap this video up, and yeah, I will send you that form. I'll have somebody in
Mhm.
my team message, well, I'll message you on LinkedIn. Once you fill out that form, I'll share it with inside of my community. But I even have 2 coaches that I have in mind that I literally were asking me that they were looking for part-time coaches. And so
You see how excited I am now? It's like, oh yes, introduce me, please.
and you're inside the community, right? You're inside of our school community, and I would also post it there. I was like, hey, like you can literally be like, had a call with Daniel, realize I don't want to have a career coaching business. I want to be a career coach. So if there's coaches that are looking for part-time coaches, I would love to have a conversation about it. Now,
Hmm.
I think your rate should be $100 an hour, and if they cannot afford $100 an hour, there are coaches that can afford it. So then move on.
Great, good to hear. Good to hear. And what I like about that is I'm assuming that a lot of your clients are based in America.
Yes.
Yeah, so that works really well being over in Portugal. So
I also have a lot of clients in Europe. Yeah.
right, yeah.
And Dubai. For some reason, we have like a pretty good circle in Dubai.
Well, I should be heading out there for a visit very shortly. So yeah, and Dubai's a great time zone for me. Only 4 hours
Amazing.
difference.
Any other questions that you have for me, Anna?
No, I'm excited. I thought we were going to be having a whole conversation that I've got to go and post onto LinkedIn and develop my personal brands. But you've just kind of solved my problems.
I mean, I could still do all that for you, but I don't think that's your problem. I don't think that's what you need to do.
No, let's try it this way. If in 3 months' time I come back and go, you know what, I want it all for me. It's going to be my business. Then I'll be coming straight back. But no, I'm going to try it this way.
Sounds like a plan.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna.